What's the last day of the class?
21.
Okay. But your presentations, senior presentations are 90.
Yes.
Okay. So one of the topics in this course is about road safety, which is a very important topic, especially for driving. Just an observation. So we had the war for how many months? How many days were the
2 months.
2 months?
1 to 2
Something
months.
less than that, right?
Yeah, 1 to 2 months.
Something between that 1 to 2 months. Okay. The number of casualties we had in those 1 to 2 months were less than number of casualties in one traffic accident we had. In the whole month. Okay. I'm not saying that those were just like that. No. I'm just telling you the importance of the topic. Okay. The importance of the topic. The number of casualties in the same time period we had because of traffic accidents were more than what we had because of the missile. Okay, during the same time. Okay, and if I'm not wrong, there was one accident where there were 3-4 people who died. So that one accident itself is more than the casualties of the war for the whole month. Okay, and if you go and look back at the statistics, we have a paper published. If you search with my name or University of Bahrain, COVID accidents, something, you will find it. It was published in the newspaper and published in the research journal as well. The number of casualties, we did not compare, but we know the casualties because of COVID. The number of casualties because of COVID were less than the number of casualties we had because of accidents. And the COVID was on few days, the whole year, right? Okay. And you know what happened during war and in COVID? What was the common thing?
People stay at house.
Yes. Okay. So most of the trucks were not even being made. You're not coming to university. Right? You will remember that happy times. You went completely off, not even online. People are after me. If I switch online, missile will come from the laptop, right? Okay. But she is a trendsetter, you know that? She did my quiz. How many minutes late? How many minutes late? 2, no problem. 1 minute late, right? It was 8. Well, I'm not accepting. Well, it was finished for the rest of the day. Okay, but minutes late, right? Next quiz, I'm telling you, you are trendsetter. I'm praising you now. Next quiz I took in other course. Okay, there was a guy who did it, like I took it in the day, and he said, Doctor, I found time in the night. So I did that now. It's like she did the quiz and she went online. See, I did the quiz, Dr. Online. And you can do it anytime you want. After that, another girl in the other course, she did it 2 days after the quiz. So all of those are getting 0 because of you. Because I cannot let this happen, right? Half an hour late, 5 hours late, 2 days late. The final exam is also open. If you come to the room, after 3 hours, it will be open.
The lecture ends at 9:50.
I didn't say this of the whole lecture. Quiz starts at 9. 15-minute quiz. Finished. Okay. Anyways, going back to the topic. So these are some statistics, some global statistics. You can see the deaths in traffic accidents are in millions. Okay, and because of that, United Nations decided that reducing traffic accidents should be part of their millennial sustainability goals. They have the goals for the whole millennium. They call it the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. Okay, so traffic accidents are part of those goals. Okay, in terms of economic impact, they have around 3% of the total product of the country. Okay, you know the GDP of Paris? Any idea? You know what GDP means, right? No? The total product of the whole country. Right? You know, you are producing aluminium and oil and so on. If you combine all of that, that is called as gross domestic product. So for example, you had $2 billion of aluminium, and you have $4 billion of oil, and you have $3 billion of something else. If you add all of them, this is what we call as gross domestic product. Okay, and obviously this will be in billions. Okay, if you take Saudi, take US, these are big countries, right? Even for a country like Pakistan, it's in millions of dollars. So 3% of billions and millions is a lot, right? All over the world. So then some trends. Most of the crashes, people who die in those crashes, more than half of them are from these categories of users. Again, if you look back to the news you have in Bahrain about traffic accidents or accidents in general, you will find these people in the news. Okay, they are called as vulnerable road users, because obviously they are open. Right? A pedestrian is open. The impact is the car impacts the pedestrian, dead on, right? No protection, nothing. Okay. Same thing with the cyclists, same thing with the bicyclists. Okay. So then another trend is that low and middle income countries, they have 60% of the traffic of the whole world. 60% of the vehicles of the whole world are in middle and low income countries. Okay, but in terms of traffic accidents, they have 93% of the accidents. So 60% vehicles are causing 93% of the accidents. Okay, so it's not balanced. It's not like if you have 100 vehicles here, so there will be 100 accidents here, 100 here. It's not like this. Okay, so it's not only related to number of vehicles. And another problem I told you about vulnerable road users, right? So we have vulnerable users of different age as well. So obviously these people are young people, right? Kids, most of them kids from age 5 onwards. Okay. So obviously you understand the risk. Okay. A kid gets into an accident, he or she is weaker than an adult. Okay. Can you tell me the reason that we have up to 29 years of people who are in this category? Kids, we understand, right? 5 years, 10 years, 12 years, we understand. 15 years, okay, fine. But what about the other half of this category? Why they are more involved in the accidents? Why they are getting into deaths and serious accidents? What about the people from 20 to 29? Why they are getting? What's the reason? It's not because they are weak, right? Or you consider yourself weak. Yesterday we are very weak. We need coffee after every hour. We cannot make our day. We are very good. Yes. What's the reason that we have many people who are in serious accidents belonging to this age category, 20 to 29? What's the reason? Or? Yes. Okay, you are risk-taking people, right? In everything in your life. Exams, quizzes, I don't know. Let's take our vacation near the house of the teachers of the Okay. So yes, so we have, now you can understand that traffic accidents are not a simple thing to understand and to prevent. Okay, people are dying in traffic accidents, but not for the same reason. Okay, these people die because they are open. Half of these people die because they are weaker. Half of the other people die because they are taking more risks. Okay, so if I am trying to prevent traffic accidents overall, not for a specific, you don't want to target a specific category, right? Okay, then we just want to reduce accidents for kids. Others can die. I don't know. So if you are trying to reduce the overall risk of traffic accidents, it becomes very complex, very complicated. Okay, and this is why we have the analysis which we will look at. Okay, some statistics from Bahrain in terms of number of vehicles. Okay, so we have death rates per vehicle, okay, which are high compared to, you know, some of the other countries. They have very, very low death rates. Okay, and this is per population, death rates per population. Okay, again on the higher side. Some of the trends, okay, in terms of where the accidents are happening in Bahrain, but they are from 1 year, so just to give you an idea. Okay, when we are dealing with transportation systems, our idea is the basic demand which we are trying to fulfill is called as mobility, movement. Okay, so what we are trying to serve is that the people should be able to move from one place to the other, okay, without any problem, right? Without any problem. One of the problems is safety. It's like designing a building. Okay, you are designing a building. What is your aim? That the building should be able to bear the load, right? Okay, but it should be able to do that while the people are safe in it, right? Okay, if it doesn't have good fire escape system, it doesn't have good heating ventilation system, people will suffocate. Okay, so there is the design aim and there is the criteria which you have to follow, the constraint which you have to follow. Okay, so yes, I am designing the roads so the people can move. They can move as fast as possible, but I cannot do it by compromising safety. Okay, so what are the areas included in road safety? First of all, the roadside clearance. Roadside objects can be dangerous for drivers and road users. Work zone safety, we have discussed work zone earlier as well. What is the work zone? We have discussed it in the series. What is the work zone? Yes. So work zone safety has two aspects. One is the safety inside the work zone and one is the safety outside the work zone. So they do two types of approaches for ensuring work zone safety. Okay, one is called as internal safety. Okay, and the other one is the temporary safety for the traffic control. The internal means within the work zone, right? There are vehicles going in, coming out. Okay, they are transferring material, the cranes are moving, the excavators are moving. This is happening internally. Okay, so you have to make sure this happens safely. And then outside the work zone, you have seen, sometimes they change the routes, sometimes they change the lane, they have to close some turnings, they have to open some U-turns and so on. So this is called as temporary traffic control. Okay, so you have to maintain safety in both of them. Okay, then we have the advisory speeds at the horizontal curves. So at the horizontal curves, we usually take more caution. We ask the driver to do something. Okay, just for fun. Because many drivers they just continue. Okay, nothing happens. Okay, but we know horizontal curves, there are more risks here. Okay, so usually at the curves you will see some boards reduce speed or maybe a different speed limit, maybe a traffic camera or something. Okay, so we do this because we know the risk is increasing. Okay, you cannot see straight. Your car is not going starting, so there is more chance of slipping. There is more chance that something can suddenly come in your way, you will not know. Okay, so that's why it's special. So these are the things which we will not cover, okay, in these slides. But these are some of the things which we will cover in these slides, okay, starting from road safety audit, and then the other types of analysis which we do with the accident data or the road itself. Okay, what is the meaning of audit? People do audit for different things. They do audit of accounts. Sorry? Council?
Something related to spending.
Not council. Audit. Audit means a check. It's a check. So in simple words, it's a check. Okay? So road safety audit means you are checking the road if it is safe or not. Clear? So it can be for a new road, it can be for an existing road, like means an old road. Okay? It can be done for any types of road. In some of the countries are now adopting it more common. Names are written here. Okay, US, UK, sorry, not US. UK, Australia, New Zealand. Okay. You can do it for the whole road, or you can do it for specific segments. Okay, so it's very flexible. Okay, you can use it as you want. But the important thing is, all audits are done by external people. All audits, whether you are doing it for the road, whether you are doing it for the accounts, whether you are doing it for the bachelor's program. We have an audit next semester. Okay, some of you will graduate, right? This semester. Yes. Not inshallah. Yes. Okay. And so we have an audit. Some of you can see that. This time we completely. So we have an audit. Audit means so there should be an external evaluator, somebody who is not part of the. So if I am doing it for the university, it will be done by someone who is not from the university. If I am doing it for the road, then it should be done by someone who is what? Who should do? Who is external for the road audit? Who is the external guy? Huh? Who would that? How do I make sure he is external? Who is internal?
The person or the people design the road.
Who designed the road? Okay. So the guy who designed the road cannot do the audit. But this is only half of the guy, half of the picture. Who else cannot do the audit for the road? So design engineer cannot do the audit. The person who designed the road. Some other design engineer can do it, right? He is a design engineer, a professional, but he is not for this road. He is not work on this road. Okay, who else cannot do it?
Construct the road.
Construct the road. Okay. They cannot do it. So maybe you will hire some other construction guy who was not involved in the construction of this road. And which department cannot do the audit? I am not saying any which people. Which department cannot do the audit for the road? In Bahrain. If I am doing a road audit in Bahrain, you will not take guys from which department? Huh? Not university department. Okay. Department of the government. You want it to go there? Yes. Which government department or ministry cannot do the audit of the roads in Bahrain? Because they are part of the roads. Ministry of Works. approvals,
History of transportation.
Ministry of Transportation. Anybody else? There is something which is called as urban planning as well. The department and ministry which is urban planning. Okay, so you get the idea, right? Okay, people who are involved in the design, in the construction, or in the management of the road, they cannot do the audit. I have to ask somebody else to come. Okay, these guys can be from some other areas who are in the same ministry. Okay, we don't have it in Thailand, but for example, if you go to Saudi, they have a different department for managing the road for each province. Okay, we have it in Pakistan, US has it, they have each department of transportation for each of the states. Okay, if you go to UAE, you will see the same thing. Okay, so if I am doing it for Dubai, I can ask the ministry guy from Abu Dhabi to come and do the audit. Getting the point? Okay, so yes, we need external people and they should be professionals. Okay, they should be people who know about this, especially in road safety. Now, for audit, you don't have to wait for the accident. The normal approaches, the traditional approaches, okay, if I have to do something for road safety, I will look into my accident data. But when you are looking into the accident data, you are already too late. Right or wrong? You are looking at 100 accidents. Now you can identify why they happened, what was the problem. But now you are doing it after the 100 accidents has already happened. Okay, some people already died, some people already lost their property as well. So this is too late. Okay, so road safety audit is a proactive approach. You are not looking at the accidents, you are looking at the road itself. Okay, so you can even do it while there are no accidents. Right? But that doesn't mean that I will do the road safety audit for all the roads in the entire country without any reason. This will take too much effort. Road safety audit, you have to arrange for external evaluators, you have to give them time, you have to give them resources. Okay? So, I cannot do it for the whole country without any reason. So yes, I don't have to wait for the accidents. But that doesn't mean I will randomly select my locations. For the audit, I have to still do the selection of the locations. And that selection can be on the basis of one of the reasons for selecting a location is this location is having accidents. But I can do it for other locations as well, which are not having accidents, for some other reason. We'll come back. You got the point? The point is, we don't do it for all the locations. We still need selection. Okay, and there are different reasons for selection. So you can identify potential errors, not errors which have already happened. You can identify them which you think may happen. Okay, potential errors in design or in the driver behavior. Okay, this road safety audit looks at the effect of these things on safety. So capacity of the road depends upon the design, right? So you're looking at the design. Are there any design problems there? Right of way, meaning the roadside. Okay. Do we have any problems on the side of the road? Okay. Environmental issues. Maybe too much rain, maybe snowfall, slippery pavement, wet pavements. Okay. So these are all not having enough visibility. There are countries which have fog and low visibility in many months of the year. Okay, so those things. Then we have the problems of political interest and conflicts. It basically means that the effect of government priorities on the road design, on the road safety. So government is prioritizing something. So what is the impact of that priority on the road safety? Okay, so the government may think we need more buses. Okay, it's a political decision. Political means, it doesn't mean that it has a conflict and people are arguing. No, political means it is from the administration directly. they have their own reasons. It's not technical. They are saying, the minister is saying here, or somebody who is the big boss is saying that we will do this. He is saying that what are the impacts of that on road safety. Whatever. Okay. So we are looking at impacts of these things. Okay. So you see there are no accidents here, right? Accidents are not mentioned here. Okay. So this is why it's proactive. Okay. We follow 8 steps, and there are 2 parties involved. One is the owner of the project who is asking to do the audit, and the other one is the team who will do the audit. So it's not one person, it's a team. Okay, this can be one person, but this has to be a team. Okay, so these steps are divided among them. The first step is, it's the first step, right? Yeah. First step is identifying the sites. I told you, there should be some selection. Okay, you have hundreds of kilometers of roads in Bahrain, and Bahrain is a small country. And you cannot do road audit of the entire Bahrain. It will take too much effort. So imagine the bigger countries. Okay, so how do we, so in the selection, you are free to choose any type of site. It can be a site which has just been constructed. It can be a site which was constructed many years ago, or it can be a site about which you are looking for renovation, major construction work. So it will go through major construction maybe in the next 6 months. Any type of site can be selected for road safety audit. Okay, the type of site is not restricted here. Okay, why do we do road safety audit for sites before construction? Maybe we are proposing some complex design for that site. Okay, most of the road projects in Bahrain are what? What type of projects we are having in Bahrain currently? If we have gone through, obviously we have traveled. So, ramps for ramps take to the bridge, right? Yes. So bridge, okay, bridges with ramps are normally complex structures, complex design structures. Okay. So now you are proposing something at that location. Okay. You want to see how drivers are already behaving there, what are the patterns there, and so on. Okay. So any complex design which you are proposing, you have a site with accident problems, very common. Most obvious reason. I am going to do road safety audit. A site which has accidents definitely will come in it. Okay. But other sites which have other problems can also come. Okay. For example, complex design or high profile projects. Okay. Like projects which are important for the government, projects which are going towards sites which are very important. Okay, for example, the causeway project, high profile project. Causeway project is the high profile project, right? So it has high profile means it has a lot of importance for the country itself. Okay. Sites which are done for which you do audit after construction. Okay. Again, sites which have problems, safety problems. You already have a record, excellent record of that site. Okay. High profile projects. Okay. Sites where traffic characteristics, so you did the construction, something you changed on the road. Now because of this change, travel behavior will change. Okay. So you want to do an audit right when the things are fresh. So if there is a problem, you can detect it without taking too much time. If you did the construction and you did not notice, you did not monitor, you may have a 6-month period when there are 100 accidents. Now you have to come back and do this. Okay. So before waiting for accidents to happen, you do it yourself. Got it? Then, okay. So some of the reasons for which you can do the audit for different types of sites. Second step, I have identified the sites, I will identify the team who will do the audit. And the team should be what? I gave you 2 points about that team. External and Yeah, taxonomy is different than internal. Yes. Thanks for letting me know. Yes, professional. There should be professionals, right? Okay. Normally the team can go up to 10 members because there's a lot of work involved. Okay. And team can comprise of people who are non-technical as well. Okay. So they should be professionals, but they can be people who are not purely transportation engineers or traffic engineers, but they are related to the field. They are related to the field. For example, traffic police. Okay, they are not in traffic police because they are engineers, traffic engineers, right? They have their own class. They have their own qualification, right? Okay. So, and they could be people who are from other ministries, okay, from other areas. I already gave you the example, Dubai, Abu Dhabi. Okay. So there are people who are, so everybody in the ministry is not an engineer, right? So those people can also be selected in the team. Another type of people, another type of organization is, they call them non-governmental organizations. Okay. These are organizations where people gather for a cause. Okay. And the cause is, you have free time. You don't know what to do with our life. Let's make an organization. Okay. So after the exam, you can do this. Okay. But for example, you have a cycling club test. Okay. Or you have some other organization which arranges marathons and these things. Okay. So they usually have an organization. So people, because those people represent cyclists or people who walk regularly or people who are related to the road safety. Okay. So these people can be involved in the audit as well. Then once the team is selected, the locations are selected, we do a kick-off meeting. Okay? Kick-off meeting what? Start. Okay. I asked him because chat proposal. So I asked here that you say each other. Okay. So in the start of meeting, people are introduced. You tell them what they have to do, which locations they have to go, and you have to provide them with the data which you already have. You don't want them to make their task difficult. You have to make it easier for them, right? Okay. So you have what data you can give. You are the owner of the project. You are owner of the road. Okay. So maybe Minister of Works, for example. Okay. So you have the maps, the drawings of that road. Okay, what are the utilities under the road? You know that, right? You may have done traffic studies. You would have accident data. You may have satellite images. Okay, there are satellite images you get from Google. Okay, those are less precise, and many times they are older. And then we have the official satellite images, which are updated and in better quality. Okay, so those, if there are any models. For example, in that we have the, I forgot the name, there is a model which we use. Okay, so that model has the traffic prediction for the next 20-30 years. 20. Okay, so if you have any model results, any predicted forecasted values, present values, so you provide your team with whatever data you can have to facilitate, to make their work easier and faster. Because if you don't give, they will start collecting the data, they will spend more time doing it. Okay, and they are a small team, you are the whole ministry, right? They are a small team of 3, 4, 5 people. Okay, so they will take more time. Yes, and you give them any tools and equipments which they need during the audit. Okay, they have mentioned some very basic things, and obviously I took it from the book. But now if you go in the field, if you go in the market, you will find many equipments and instruments and apps and tools which you can use. Okay, some of you, yesterday, some of the people were presenting, they found a tool, an AI tool on the phone app, can do the traffic count for them from the video. You open the camera of the phone and it takes the video and does the count. Okay. So anything like this, privacy that was free. And free means
Not quality.
yeah, only 5 minutes. Only for 5 minutes. Okay. Anyways. So if any software, so I mentioned the model for example. Okay. We had the Prism presentation, right? So Ministry of Works and Planning has subscription to the Prism software. Okay. So they can give access to that team. Okay, you can have a look. Okay. I don't know if any of you went to, you guys don't know that. But there was a team who came from some other country to do something similar to this for Bahrain. They did it for all the main roads and they gave the full database to the ministry. Okay, so we have some students who were doing training at that time. Okay, so in those departments they gave them the access to that data, the whole database. It is a GIS-based database and we gave it. So the same thing can be done for these people as well. They are going to do the audit. We have this database, they have this platform available, you can use it. Okay? So any point is any tool which is helpful for their work. Then the next thing is the audit itself. For the audit they have to go in the field. Okay? Now a road means what? A road has different directions. Okay? Between the two directions I have a median. On the sides I have a shoulders. After the shoulders I have a curves. Okay, which can be walkways. Okay, and if I have to cross the road, then I have a yes. For the pedestrian, they could get pedestrian bridge as well, right? Okay, and somewhere I may be doing it for an intersection. Okay, and people who are going from the road, they can be in the car, or they can be walking, or they can be on a bicycle, or they can be on a motorcycle, or walking and wheelchairs, yes. Wheelchairs, yes, and remember you need to do that where you stand, right? The same thing, yes. Anything else? Anything else? Nobody's going wrong the buses. One bus. Only saw the bus in the car, we on the bus, go around. That's it. They don't do anything else on the road. Yes. But you get the idea. We need to review the road from all aspects. And all aspects include people who are on the lane, people who are walking on the side, people who are crossing the road, people who are going to the bus stop, getting on the bus and going. Okay, all those things. So the team has to look into all these aspects. They cannot just come and drive 2 times and they go, okay, we have seen everything. No. They have to look at all those road users. Okay, so the program which I mentioned, the team came from somewhere else and they did this. They look at, is the road safe for drivers? Is the road safe for bicyclists? Is the road safe for pedestrians? Okay, and what is the risk for each one of them separately? So this is what the job of this team is. Okay, they are not looking at one aspect only. They have to look at all the aspects. So I told you in the first step, traffic accidents are not unidimensional. It's only happening because of this. Okay, if I take care of the drivers or if I take care of the road design, everything is fine. No. Okay, we may still have problems because of pedestrians. We may still have problems because of buses. Okay, and different timings. People behave different in different times. Right? Some of the worst accidents happen at what time? Any idea? Night, right? And you just mentioned that you guys, your mind starts working at night. Okay. So this is what happens when your mind starts working at night. Relax. Okay? You sleep like me. Okay? Or like my words. Okay? But anyways, so they have to look at, the point was, they have to look at different timings as well. The safety situation can change in different times. Okay, why accidents happen, serious accidents happen at night? Because of traffic condition. Traffic is very, very good. You are not expecting something. Okay, so the team has to go through all these aspects. Now, you may be doing an audit. Okay, so if I ask you, okay, do an audit for this room. Okay, and you have looked around, you noted everything. Okay, the room is locked. Okay, then Zainab says that, oh, I forgot to check if there is a crack in the window. She is the one who was standing there, probably forgot this. So let's say she does the same thing with the audit as well. Don't worry. So now what will happen? You have to come back, the whole team has to come back, okay? And you have to open the site again and so on. Okay, so what do? We use a checklist during the audit so that we don't miss anything. Okay, so a checklist is the most common items which are usually part of the audit. Okay, some of the items may not apply. You can write not applicable. But at least you will not miss anything. Okay. So we prepare a checklist. A checklist usually, is there a crosswalk? If there is a signal, that does the signal give enough time for the pedestrian? If there is a sidewalk, do we have any separation? What are the light conditions? Do we have any holes or cracks in the pavement? Normal things, okay? The usual things. Okay, so we use a checklist so that the team does not miss out on anything. Once you have come back from the site, you start your analysis and reporting. Okay, so you look at different faults you found, different issues you found on the site, and you rank them. You rank them according to their impact on road safety and according to the chance that they will cause an accident. Okay, so if I don't have a pedestrian crossing, a proper pedestrian crossing, okay. So if you have a pedestrian accident, the impact will be very severe, right? The impact will be very severe. But what are the chances that a pedestrian accident may happen? Okay. So these are two things which this team will look at from their report, from their observations. Okay. So impact. Okay. How many accidents of each type and how many accidents it can cause. Okay. So you can have an issue which can cause many accidents, but all those accidents are only the scratches on the car. So you don't have proper lane marking, or the lanes are very, not straight. So because of that, you may have many what they call side swipe crashes. Okay, but these side swipe crashes are normally less severe. Okay, so there are many, but not severe. If you go back to the pedestrian problem, pedestrian crossing, many accidents, very severe. So which one will have more priority? The lanes or the crossing? The crossing. Okay. So you can prepare a matrix like this. Okay. Anybody took construction engineering course? Construction management. Construction management. You have to they do a risk matrix at the end. Remember? Remember? What's the but you have a matrix like this. Okay? So anything which is in this corner, very dangerous. Anything which is in this corner, negligible. Okay? You have to focus here and maybe here in the middle. Got it? Okay? Yeah, you have to include the background information for the events which you are writing here. So just 2 tables are not enough. You have to put more details. Why you are saying this? Who pointed out this issue and so on. Okay. And yes, in the field, when you are in the field, you don't rely on only your observations. You may take anything you found important. You may mark it on the existing drawings. You have the drawings, right? You have the drawings, you have the center image. So you can mark out on that. You can take a picture yourself. You can take videos yourself. So you have to collect evidence. You have to collect your own evidence. Okay, then you present findings to the agency who hired you. Okay, so you have prepared your report. Now you present to the agency. You will tell them what are the issues and what they should do at this location. Okay, and the agency may ask for more material, more evidence. Okay, so you should have it ready. Okay, and they may ask for clarification and so on. And all these meetings, the first meeting and this one, they must be documented. Okay, who said what, everything. Then the agency who hired the auditors, the project owner, they will now do they will prepare a response to the audit team. Okay, they prepare, whenever an audit is done, official audit is done, there is always a follow-up. So the audit team gives you the problems, tells you what to do, and then you follow up that this is what we have done and this is what we will do in future. Okay. So some of the issues can be handled immediately. Okay, they said, okay, lane marking has a problem, okay, we will repaint the lane mark, no problem. It can be done in 2 days. Okay, so anything that can be done immediately, you do it, and then you tell them that this is being done. Okay, and there are issues which will need more time. So you tell them, okay, over the few months, next few months, we'll do it. So in the next audit, this is not just okay, you just submitted the response and done. This response will be taken as input for the next audit. Okay, so you told them that you will do this up in the next 6 months. The next audit is due after 1 year. So when the next audit team will come, next time the audit team will come, they will ask, okay, you told us that you did this, or you were supposed to do it in the 6 months period. Now tell us if you have done it or not. Okay. So your response to this audit becomes your input to the next audit. Right? Yeah. And by the way, most of these steps are common to any type of audit. So you may go into some other organization, some construction company, some university, okay, or some bank or something. You will see these things. You will see most of these steps being done. Okay, especially the financial audit is done irrespective of the type of company. Construction companies do financial audit, universities do financial audit, hospitals do financial audit. Okay, the steps remain the same. External team, they take the data, they look into it. Obviously, there are no site visits at that time. Okay, the next thing which we are looking at is a conflict study. Okay, a conflict, we discussed conflict points in lecture, this is number 5. So we discussed it in lecture number 3, first initial slides. What is the conflict? We discussed conflict points. Now the world has less conflict points. Intersection have more conflict points. What do you mean?
The lanes intersect. The lanes intersect.
Where the lanes intersect? Where?
Smallest gap at points.
We have a respect that point, okay. Anyone else? Yes. Instead of lanes intersecting, where the movements are intersecting. Okay, the point where the movements intersect. Okay, we call it the conflict point. Okay, so conflict studies is to study the conflict of movement, different travels with each other, and it may not happen essentially on the conflict point itself. It can happen because of the travel. Okay, so I'm just going in my lane. Suddenly a driver comes from the other lane. It should be a conflict. He will intersect me, right? He is trying to come. Okay. So how do I know it's a conflict? When you have a near crash experience. Okay. Some of the conflicts will result in a crash. Okay. Some of the conflicts result in a crash. And there are some other which are just conflicts. Drivers come very close and they are safe. They just continue. They honk at each other, they pull down the window and do something. Okay? The usual things. Okay? So, most of the conflicts, this is where conflict study it is stronger than looking at the accidents. Okay? If you have 100 conflicts, out of 100, maybe 5 or 6 will result in an accident. The remaining are all safe. But that doesn't mean they cannot result in an accident, right? There is a possibility of accident, right? Wherever there is a conflict, there is a possibility of accident. They call something, you may hear it in some other fields as well. They call it the Swiss cheese effect. Have you seen Swiss cheese? You have seen it? Everybody has seen it. You don't know what Swiss cheese is. When I heard about it, I thought, what is Swiss cheese? Okay, then I saw the picture. It's in all the cartoons. But the holes. Okay. So what is the Swiss cheese effect? If you have something which has, how can I show it? Okay, so for example, imagine there are holes in this sheet. Okay, imagine there are holes in this sheet, random. Okay, and I put another sheet behind it, and that sheet behind also has random holes in it. Okay, and I put 2-3 sheets like this. 1, 2, 3. Each sheet has random holes in it. Okay, now each sheet has a problem, right? Because it has holes. Each sheet has a problem because it has holes. Understood or not? Okay. If I throw something through the sheet, what is the possibility that it will find a place where the holes are one after the other? What is the possibility of that? Very low, right? That possibility is very low. This is what happens with accidents. Accidents happen because of vehicle problem, driver problem, road problem, environment problem, weather problem. So all these things are what? Sheets. Okay, and these sheets have problems. Problems are holes. When accidents happen, all these things align. But the possibility of their alignment is very low. Okay, so accident happens when all the holes align and all the problems align. Let me give an example. You are driving when the pavement is very wet. How do you drive? Pavement is very wet. You have like this much water on the pavement. You drive slow, right? Okay. So what happened? You have road problem. You have road problem. And what happened to your behavior? You became more careful, right? Became more careful. Okay. So the holes do not align. now we have the alignment. Now the accident will happen, right? Getting my point or not? Okay. Conflicts will highlight problems even when the accident does not happen. Okay. So there is a problem at this location. I don't have side distance. So you don't see, you are at the intersection. You cannot look the other side. I cannot look from here. I cannot see if somebody is coming from the other side. So what do? I come and stop because I cannot see the other side, right? So I will stop. I will have a look, and when I will move, I will move very, very slowly, right? Okay. Does this mean that there is no problem of side distance? There is a problem, right? Okay. But the accidents are not happening because I became more careful, right? Right now. Okay. So conflicts can identify these issues. Because yes, I may not get into an accident because I am very, very slow when I am stopping. But there can be events in which a car will come very close and he or she will stop. Right? Near me. Okay? So this will be counted in the conflict. Accident did not happen. But a conflict happened. What am I? Okay. So this is where conflict studies are very good because they can detect problems even without accidents. They can detect problems even without it, and they are very short. If there is a recurring problem, if there is a common problem on this side, you can identify it in 5 minutes. Usually, if there is a problem on a side or even in people's behavior, if you go to certain areas, okay, if you have driven in other countries, you drive for 5 minutes, you feel these people are different from us in this way. Okay? So if you are, giving the flashlight to someone in Bahrain, means you can go, right? In Saudi, it means the other way. No, stop. I am done. Okay? You can identify this thing in like 2 minutes. So conflict studies are very short because you are looking for common problems. Right? Yeah. So this is, you have the definition here, but I've explained it as much as I can. So these are the videos which are detecting basically conflicts. Okay. So you see things like this. Okay. Things like this. What is happening on the side? I may have missed something here as well, but you get the point. Okay, so if you run the video, you will see some examples. Okay, so conflict studies can be normally done at intersections because intersections have most of the conflicts. You have people crossing, right? So conflicts usually are higher at intersections. They can tell you about the severity or frequency of the problem. More conflicts means bigger problem. Okay, and you can use the conflict studies to follow up on your countermeasures as well. Countermeasure is something which you have done to reduce the accident. So there were accidents, you knew about it, you did something to reduce accidents. Now you want to follow up. Okay. Now when you looked at the accidents, you looked at 5 years of data. So I had 5 years of accidents. On the basis of that, I decided I should change the signal time. So I should put a wider median. Should I wait another 5 years to see how the median is behaving? We cannot, right? We cannot wait for 5 years and let 200 accidents happen. So we go conflict study, short term. If the problem is still there, we will detect it during the conflict study, even without an accident. Okay? So it can be used for follow-up of countermeasures, or you can use it for comparing between different designs. Okay? So my intersection has a roundabout. This intersection has a signal. I want to compare between them in terms of safety. So I can do a conflict study here or study here. In the same traffic conditions, I will know how the design behaves. Right? And because they are short, they can be used as preliminary studies as well. So I want to do a detailed study later on, but right now I need quick data, okay, for my detailed study. Okay, Intersections I mentioned earlier. Yeah, you don't have to consider all the possible conflicts. You may decide in advance that my study will only cover conflict A and B and C. That's it. So you may decide I will only cover conflicts between cars and pedestrians. That's it. Okay, so conflict study can be selected. In any case, we have three main types of conflicts. We have discussed it in the intersections as well. Lecture number 3. Okay, diverging, merging, crossing. Okay, so in this one, if you look at this one, this is what? This yellow spot is what? Merging. Okay, this guy and these guys are merging with each other. Okay, then this one is diverging. Okay, two guys are diverging from each other, and then you have the red ones which are crossing. Okay. Diverging conflict points are usually less prominent. People going in different directions usually have less problem. The frequency is very less. Okay. But when they happen because of driver confusion. I don't know if the other driver is turning on. Okay. And their frequency is less, but if they happen, they can cause serious accidents. When diverging happen. The frequency is less, but impact is high. Okay. For example, you are exiting from the roundabout and you exit from the round approach. Okay. So you were supposed to go here, but you. Okay. I saw yesterday on accident like this. Not a roundabout. Somebody was taking the left turn. Maybe he was using the phone or something. So instead of going in the lane, he went into the middle. Okay, so this is like a diverging accident. Merging are more prominent. People are coming from different directions. Right turning, very prominent. Okay. Somebody is coming into your lane. Very prominent. Very common. If they cause an accident, usually it's a side swipe. Okay. So frequency is very high. Impact is low. Side swipe is lower severity. And it happens because of drivers are making decisions suddenly, randomly. Design is not proper, so people don't know in which lane they should be. Okay, or they don't have proper signing and markings. Okay. Then we have the crossing one. Crossing have high impact and high severity. High frequency and high severity. Okay, high chances and high impact. Okay, crossing. Okay. All intersections have signals and roundabouts because of crossing, right? If you have a signal, what is the type of conflict you are trying to eliminate? Crossing. You don't want people going like this on a signal, or even on a roundabout, or even on a stop sign. So the whole intersection design is based on this to eliminate crossing. Okay? Because if they happen, then they are major. So crossing, major accident. You will go head on with another thing. Okay. Okay, so you have we have done this earlier as well. Okay, it was there as well. So you can see with the roundabout, all crossings are gone. They are there. We try to eliminate them with the signal there, but they are there. Okay, with this, all crossings are gone, and you have only one merging, one diverging at each location. Each approach, one merging, one diverging. Okay. Yeah. Okay. If you are doing a conflict study, you want to identify the conflicts first. Before going in the field, you want to identify what conflicts can happen. Okay. Because the design is different. Okay. So I will not go on a roundabout study and look for crossing. Crossing cannot happen, right? So I will look at the design and see what conflicts can happen. So if you have something like this, okay, this is called as median U-turn intersection. So if I'm coming from here, I cannot take a left turn. What do? Left turn is blocked. I go here. Got it? Normally you see them at the construction sites when they're doing that. If you go to Salmabad, where they're making the bridge, okay, near the showroom, they have this. It was a direct left turn for Salmabad and to go to Isa town. The left turn is blocked. You have to, you are coming from what's the area, whatever area. Okay, you want to go towards Isa town, you will go like this. Okay, no left turn. Well, so they change the movement, that means conflict points will also change. Okay, how do I identify the conflict points? You draw all the movements. You draw the movements. Okay, so you have an empty map, empty drawing, and then you draw the movements. Okay, so they have done that. What are the possible movements? I can come from here, then I can go like this or like this. So this means, this is what now? What type of conflict? Diversion. When I go here, somebody can come from this side as well. So this is what? Merging. Okay, and so on and so forth. If I'm going like this, somebody can cross from the other side, so I have crossing. Got it? So they have all conflict points marked here. Okay, you have to draw the movement. Draw the movement. You want to identify possible conflict points, you draw the movements. The rule is, once you have a diverging, you will have two movements. After diverging, there are two movements. Okay. Before diverging, it was one. Crossing, two remains two. Merging, what? Before the point, there were two. After the point, one. So two, after one. Right? Okay. Now this one is what? Divergent. Okay. And so on. So now you can identify each one of them and where they can happen. So your study can be good. Okay. Now they are again. Now they are saying, I'm finishing. Don't worry. You tell me this. Don't hurry. Okay. What are you saying? Yeah. So we have a pedestrian crossing here, and we are only interested in pedestrian to vehicle conflict. So again, you draw the movement. Which movements can come on this side? Okay. And the pedestrian will cross here. So there are two conflict points here and here. Pedestrian can cross from this side, and vehicle can go like this or come like this. Okay. When vehicle is coming from here and here, they are merging, right? So after merging, they become one. Okay. So one here, then from here they will diverge, right? Before diverging, they are one. Clear? Okay. Now,
This is the opposite side.
what?
Number one is diverging.
Number one is merging.
Diverging.
Number one is diverging. Number one is diverging. Okay. Any questions? Okay. See you guys on Thursday, inshallah.